Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and welcome to the Black Financial Channel. Today, we're going to talk about E-40. E-40 just made a donation to HBCUs of $100,000, and I think this is important. It's important enough for us to talk about today. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics under the B1 philosophy. B1 means we're Black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means that we are the original man, that we are as great as we want to be. We are the original woman. We love our families, and we break generational curses. If you agree with the B1 philosophy, put a B1 in the chat. All the B1ers, let me know that you're B1 and that you're Black first, and you're not ashamed to say it. Let me see. I see John Hunter. Shout out the city you're from, by the way. My name is Corey, Miss Shaka, J.K. Mitchell, Kenneth Wilson, Silver Stralom. Good to see you. All right, so let's hop in. Let's talk about this. This is really good stuff. E-40. How many of you grew up like kind of listening to E-40 back in the day? E-40 is one of the most accomplished artists of all time. He's one of the few people that I've ever seen that has literally been making good hip hop music for the last 30 years. I mean, E-40, if you listen to his music now, you will find that his music is better now than it was even back in the early 90s. And same thing is true actually with Ice Cube. Ice Cube is a guy you guys have seen on this platform. And I just have a lot of respect for this. I love it. I love seeing rappers mature and seeing them sort of maintain their creativity and realizing, just because you're over 40, that doesn't mean you can't be brilliant. You're supposed to be brilliant over 40. You're supposed to be smarter over 40 than you were when you were under 40. And I think that we got to stop believing that being a rapper or being an artist just means you have to be, too young and stupid to really know anything. No disrespect to the young artists, but I'm seeing a lot of the older guys and older women hopping back in. And just so you should also know this, I don't know E-40. I never met him. Me and my wife played. He had a song called Choices, and it goes, nope, yep, nope, yep. And so I played that song actually at our wedding when we came out. The bride and the groom come out, and you come out to a song. I said, I'm going to come out to that song because I really like that song. And Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, who's a buddy of mine, he was actually in the wedding. He said, "Hey man, if you had told me you liked that song, I would have got him on the phone so y'all could talk." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that." But so I think that I'm about 1 degree of separation from E-40. I know his sister Sugar T really well. She's a very smart woman. And one thing that Sugar T has brought up that I think should be kind of just known is, I'm just going to repeat some of this, is that she feels that a lot of the older school female artists got ignored. They kind of got passed over for the young 24-year-olds who are shaking ass every other song. And I really think there should be space for those intelligent women in hip hop. So shout out to all the hip hop pioneers on the female and the male side. And so E-40 just did something pretty remarkable that I thought was very impressive. He went and gave $100,000 to Grambling State University. So let's give a digital round of applause for E-40 making that donation. He actually gave money to the school, and they named a music sound studio after him. I want to say it's the Earl Stevens Sound Recording Studio. And apparently he grew up in California, but he made his way to northern Louisiana in 1986. I guess he went to Grambling back in the day. And after that, he went back to the West Coast where he started rapping. And one of the things that this HBCU gave E-40 that should be applauded is they gave him a tremendous sense of entrepreneurial creativity. They really helped foster that. I think his family got that because I know his sister Sugar T, and she's also an entrepreneur. She's also super creative. She was on a couple of his songs back in the day. But let me just tell you, there's something in that family. There's something in the water in that family that breeds a certain type of success that I really admire because it tends to come down to the ability to think independently and to do for self, and E-40, because he's always done for self, has been able to make a very large amount of money. Even when he didn't have hit records out, he was also able to maintain the longevity of his career because he wasn't depending on anybody to give him a career. See, this is important for you to understand. You don't need a white man to give you a career. When people say, "Oh my God, if I do this, my career is going to be ruined." Well, who's ruining your career? Oh no, I better not do that. I'm going to be canceled. Well, you can't cancel somebody who owns the damn business. The business owner can't be canceled. they can't fire you if you are running the show. So E-40, what I love about his whole career, and he's been rapping about this his whole life, is that he pretty much told you back in the 90s, he said, they can't fire me. They can't get rid of me. He said, I got one more album with Jive and I'm gone. And then he leaves. And I don't know anything about this man's personal life. And I'm not here to put anybody on a pedestal. So I don't know all the specifics and all the details. I'm sure there were some bumps in the road. But from what I'm seeing, it looks to me like he has a model where guys like him should be teaching rappers business classes. You know, guys like him, another one, D1. D1 is a buddy of mine. D1 is at Harvard right now. And D1 turned down Lil Wayne's Cash Money Records label when they wanted to sign him. Cash Money Records tried to sign D1, and D1 was doing so well, making money by making ethical music, making good music for the Black community, making music that was actually going to benefit Black people, that was going to use the power of hip hop to make us better and not worse. He was doing so well with that he didn't need to be signed. In fact, he did get a record deal, and eventually, and we talked a lot while he had the deal, and eventually he left the record label. How often do you hear about rappers that leave the record label? And for a lot of us as Black folks, we think that's impossible. Like, we think that surviving without the white man, without being on the white man's nipple, is impossible to do. And I'm just here to tell you that that's just not true. You just have to have the right training. You have to have the right mindset, and you have to have a little bit of courage and a little bit of willingness to sacrifice, patience, and the willingness to sacrifice. If you start something small, it's not going to be big and flashy when you first start it. If you start your own thing, it's not going to look as big and beautiful as somebody else's business, somebody else's institution. Stop comparing your baby to somebody else's grown-ass child. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, stop comparing something that you have that's little to something that someone else has been pouring into for the last 40 years. That doesn't make any sense, you know? So ultimately, what I would say to you is, you know, when you're talking about getting ahead, when you're talking about being successful, somebody has to have the willingness to sacrifice, to build legacy, and to build something for future generations. That's why, for example, I read about the Kansas City Chiefs and their family. There's a family called the Hunt family. The Hunt family owns the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes got a $400 million contract, but what's more impressive is the fact that the Hunt family paid Patrick Mahomes $400 million. I don't want to know about the guy who's getting the $400 million. I want to understand the son of a bitch who has the ability to write a check for $400 million. That's who I want to pay attention to. So the Hunt family literally wrote a $400 million check, or over time, they're going to pay Patrick Mahomes $400 million. And I looked at their history and I studied their family. And so the Hunt family goes back a couple generations. And in this family, I think they bought the Kansas City Chiefs for, I want to say it was like $1,000 or $500 or something ridiculously cheap. And now the Chiefs are worth they're technically labeled as being worth $3.7 billion. But if the Dallas Cowboys are worth over $8 billion, the Chiefs, if they tried to sell themselves right now, would probably sell for about $5 to $6 billion, maybe even $7 billion, depending on how well the merchandising is going. So what I really want you to get, and give me a yes if you understand what I'm saying, I really want you to understand the importance of building legacy, the importance of ownership, the importance of control, and how that gives you a type of power that money cannot buy. How control gives you a type of freedom that money cannot buy. How control gives you an access to happiness that money cannot buy. Keep that in mind as you build your business. So shout out to E-40. I love what he's doing with the HBCUs. I love the fact that he gave the money to Grambling. I hope other celebrities will follow suit. We need the celebrities to pay their Black tax and give back to the communities that poured into them. You can't just take. You got to give back. And when your institutions are falling apart, that is a reflection on you. It's just like a parent who has some dirty ass kids that are walking out in the streets hungry, begging for food. Well, that's not just a reflection on the child. That's a reflection on you. So a lot of our institutions are raggedy, falling apart, and struggling because we don't support and pour into our institutions. It's time for us to do more of that. I'm pouring into HBCUs by building one. We created the Black Business School. We have trained over 10 million Black people on how to invest in stock for the first time. We reach over 1 million people a week. I've done probably 20,000 trainings and podcasts and everything else over the last 12 years. And that's where I'm making the contribution. And 80% of my wealth is going to be donated to the Black Business School to continue the mission of independent Black wealth for the Black community. That's so if you want to know what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. You do your thing, I'll do mine, and we all do our part, and that's how we become successful. All right. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna get on out of here. My wife and I are about to do a pillow talk in a little bit. If you like the Pillow Talk podcast, just go to drboycetv.com. Also, I have a book series called Black American Money. If you'd like to take a look at my book series, you can go to drboycebooks.com, and my website is boycewatkins.com. I have a training on that website called How to Make Money Without Working, and if you go to boycewatkins.com, you can take a look at that. It's totally free. All right, guys. Well, take care. Have a good day, and God bless you. And shout out to E-40 for making this donation. I think it's really good stuff. Super proud of you, brother. Way to go. Talk to you later. Peace.